flipping through the newspapers, switching through multiple news channels, exploring different websites and online mediums for relevant news? Keeping up to date with important news is not only time-consuming but also requires meticulous upkeep of notes for thorough revision. With a limited period in hand and abundant resources to study from, do not let current affairs come in the way of your prelims success. Join the PT 365 program by Vision IAS and advance in your preparation for current affairs. Starting on 9th January at 5 p.m., this 20-day course offers comprehensive coverage of 1 year of current affairs in 60 hours. Join for improved knowledge with complete coverage of the Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Economic Times, Yojana, Economic Survey, etc. Doubt-clearing sessions and mentoring for thorough knowledge. Access to Sandhan personalized test with 25,000 plus questions. Access to live and online classes for flexibility in timing. It's time to devote your energy to smart learning and not running. Enroll today and excel in UPSC prelims with a strong command of current affairs.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. 16th Finance Commission launched inaugural issue of Niti Aayog's report Fiscal Health Index 2025. The US President issued executive order banning the establishment of central bank digital currency. Ministry of Coal and Mines cancels auction of Nayakarpatti tungsten mineral block. New study reveals Iron Age in India began in the 4th millennium BCE. The United States President signed an executive order to end birthright citizenship. In a significant development, the 16th Finance Commission has launched the inaugural issue of Niti Aayog's Fiscal Health Index or FHI 2025, a comprehensive report that evaluates the fiscal health of Indian states. With states handling 2/3 of public spending and 1/3 of revenue, the fiscal management plays a pivotal role in driving national progress, particularly in development and infrastructure. Now, moving on to the key findings of the report. Odisha has emerged as a top-performing state, leading with the highest overall index score and excelling in both the debt index and debt sustainability rankings. In contrast, aspirational states continue to grapple with significant fiscal challenges, including issues related to the quality of expenditure, debt sustainability, and revenue mobilization. On the revenue mobilization front, states like Goa, Telangana, and Odisha have set up an example with commendable performance. Meanwhile, achiever and frontrunner states allocate approximately 27% of their developmental expenditure to capital expenditure, whereas performer and aspirational states lag behind with only about 10% allocated. However, the report raises concerns over debt sustainability in states like West Bengal and Punjab, where growing debt burdens are alarming. This highlights the critical importance of sustainable fiscal management. The Financial Health Index or FHI categorizes states into 4 groups based on their scores. The Achiever category with an FHI score above 50 includes top-performing states like Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Jharkhand, and Gujarat. The Frontrunner category with scores between 40 and 50 signifies strong financial performance and features states such as Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. The Performer category with scores ranging from 25 to 40 indicates moderate financial health and includes Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Bihar, and Haryana. Lastly, the Aspirational category with an FHI score of 25 or below highlights states needing financial improvement such as Kerala, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, and Punjab. Talking about the Fiscal Health Index itself, it serves as a tool to evaluate the fiscal health to promote balanced regional development and economic stability of 18 major states, based on 5 key sub-indices: quality of expenditure, revenue mobilization, fiscal prudence, debt index, and debt sustainability. Its significance lies in providing a robust framework for fiscal consolidation, enhancing transparency, and ensuring efficient resource management. Moreover, it aligns with the national vision of Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047, emphasizing that state-level fiscal discipline is central to India's economic transformation.
In a bold move, the US President has issued an executive order banning the establishment of a central bank digital currency or CBDC. within the jurisdiction of the United States. This order not only prohibits the issuance but also the circulation and use of what is being referred to as the digital dollar. Let's now delve into what CBDCs are and why they have become such a debated topic. To begin with, CBDC is essentially the electronic version of a country's sovereign currency, issued directly by the respective nation's central bank. Unlike cryptocurrencies, which operate on decentralized platforms, CBDCs are centralized by nature. Now, CBDCs are broadly categorized into two types: wholesale and retail. Wholesale CBDCs are primarily used by financial institutions and market participants for large-scale transactions, such as interbank transfers or security settlements. Retail CBDCs, on the other hand, are designed for everyday use by consumers, businesses, and the public. These are further divided into two types. The first is token-based CBDCs, which allow anonymous transactions using private and public keys. The second is account-based CBDCs, which require digital identification for users to access and operate their accounts. So, what sets CBDCs apart? As a medium of payment, legal tender, and a safe store of value, they are expected to be widely accepted by citizens, enterprises, and government agencies. Moreover, they are designed for convenience, potentially reducing the cost of issuing money and facilitating transactions. However, unlike existing money held in commercial bank accounts, CBDCs represent a direct liability of the central bank, such as the Reserve Bank of India or RBI, or the US Federal Reserve. CBDCs come with several potential benefits that have attracted the attention of policymakers worldwide. These include conditioned programming, which allows CBDCs to be programmed to expire, requiring consumers to use them by a certain date. They are freely convertible, enabling exchanges against commercial bank money and physical cash. Additionally, CBDCs facilitate bilateral exchange by enabling direct digital currency transfers, bypassing systems like SWIFT and traditional dollar mechanisms. Lastly, CBDCs act as fungible legal tender, making them usable even without a traditional bank account. But CBDCs come with their own set of challenges. They have raised concerns about financial system stability, potential threats to individual privacy, and cybersecurity vulnerabilities. Let's now turn to India's journey in this space. The Reserve Bank of India launched its digital currency, the e-rupee, in 2022. The e-rupee is a digital version of the Indian rupee, exchangeable one-on-one with the fiat currency. It can be transacted via e-rupee wallet offered by banks and non-banks for both person-to-person and person-to-merchant payments. The US ban on CBDCs highlights the ongoing debate over their role in modern financial systems. As nations like India embrace CBDCs with initiatives like the e-rupee, others remain skeptical, citing privacy and security concerns.
Moving on, the Ministry of Coal and Mines has announced the cancellation of the auction of the Nayakarpatti tungsten mineral block. This decision was taken to conserve the Arittapatti Biodiversity Heritage Site located within the block's area. Let's delve into the details. Arittapatti, located in the Madurai district of Tamil Nadu, holds the distinction of being the state's first biodiversity heritage site. This area is rich in ecological and historical value, featuring megalithic structures, Tamil Brahmi inscriptions, and 2,200-year-old rock-cut temples. Now, moving on to Biodiversity Heritage Sites or BHS. These are well-defined areas that are unique and ecologically fragile ecosystems, comprising any one or more of the components such as wild ancestors of domestic or cultivated species or their land races and varieties. Species richness, which includes both wild and domesticated species or intra-specific categories. Rare species encompassing rare, endemic and threatened species, keystone species, and those of evolutionary significance. High endemism, indicating the presence of unique species in a specific area. And finally, cultural and aesthetic values, which reflect the past preeminence of biological components represented by fossil beds and their cultural or aesthetic significance. The first BHS in India was the Nallur Tamarind Grove in Bengaluru, notified in 2007. As of December 2024, there are 47 BHS across the country. The legal framework for BHS falls under Section 37 of the Biological Diversity Act 2002. This allows state governments, in consultation with local bodies, to notify areas of biodiversity importance as BHS. Furthermore, state governments, in consultation with the central government, may frame rules for their management and conservation. Speaking of management, Biodiversity Management Committees or BMCs or other appropriate institutions as determined by local bodies oversee conservation efforts. Under the BDA 2002, every local body in state is required to constitute a BMC to promote conservation, sustainable use, and documentation of biological diversity. Monitoring responsibilities lie with the state-level monitoring committees constituted by state biodiversity boards. Interestingly, the notification of a BHS generally does not impose restrictions on communities regarding their prevailing practices or the utilization of resources from the proposed site. In conclusion, the cancellation of the Nayakarpatti auction underscores the government's commitment to preserving biodiversity and protecting areas of ecological and historical importance.
A groundbreaking study titled Antiquity of Iron, Recent Radiometric Dates from Tamil Nadu has unearthed evidence suggesting that the Iron Age in India began as early as the 4th millennium BCE. Let's dive into the key findings of this research. The study reveals that iron technology in Tamil Nadu dates back as far as 3345 BCE. Charcoal and potsherds recovered from the Sivagalai site were radiometrically dated between 2953 BCE and 3345 BCE, marking this as the earliest recorded evidence of iron technology globally. Furthermore, a sarcophagus burial unearthed at Keel Mandi has been dated to 1692 BCE, making it the earliest of its kind in Tamil Nadu. Iron smelting furnaces have also been identified at sites like Mailadumparai, Keel Mandi, and Perungallur, showcasing the region's technological sophistication in producing durable iron tools and weapons. So, why is this discovery so significant? For one, it challenges the global timeline of the Iron Age, which has traditionally been linked to the Hittite Empire in Anatolia, where iron technology was believed to have emerged around 1300 BCE. Additionally, this study questions the established linear progression of cultures that iron technology succeeded copper by suggesting that the Iron Age and Copper-Bronze Age were likely contemporary in India. Previously, historians believed that the Iron Age in India began between 1500 BCE and 2000 BCE, shortly after the Indus Valley civilization. This new evidence disrupts those assumptions and challenges theories proposed by scholars like V. Gordon Childe and Mortimer Wheeler, who suggested that iron technology spread from a single Western center to the Indian subcontinent. To ensure the accuracy of these findings, researchers employed cutting-edge dating techniques, including radiometric dating, which determines the age of materials by analyzing the decay of radioactive isotopes. Additionally, accelerator mass spectrometry, a high-precision method for measuring radioisotope ratios, and optimally stimulated luminescence or OSL analysis, which date the last exposure of minerals like quartz or feldspar to light or heat, were used. This remarkable study not only rewrites the history of the Iron Age in India, but also compels us to reconsider global timelines and cultural progressions. With this new evidence, Tamil Nadu now holds a pivotal place in the story of early metallurgical advancements.
Moving on, the United States President has signed an executive order to end birthright citizenship. However, a federal judge has temporarily blocked this executive order that sought to curtail birthright citizenship in the United States regardless of parents' immigration status. To understand the context, birthright citizenship in the US is a provision enshrined in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution introduced in 1868. It grants automatic citizenship to anyone born within the country's borders. Historically, this principle was upheld by the US Supreme Court in the landmark case of United States versus Wong Kim Ark in 1898, which affirmed its application even to children of non-citizen parents. The evolution of Indian citizenship laws reflects a shift from unrestricted to conditional birthright citizenship. The 1955 Citizenship Act granted birthright citizenship to all individuals born in India after January 26, 1950. However, the 1986 amendment addressed migrant influx by restricting citizenship to children of Indian citizens. Further, the 2003 amendment excluded children from citizenship if either parent was an illegal immigrant, emphasizing stricter conditions for acquiring citizenship. Moving on to the implications for India, the policy will particularly affect Indian professionals, students, and families in the US. For instance, children born to Indian professionals on H-1B visas or those awaiting green cards, which allow a person to live and work in US permanently, will no longer qualify for automatic citizenship. The H-1B visa, which is a temporary visa, allowing employers to hire foreign professionals for roles requiring at least a bachelor's degree, has been a popular route for Indian workers. Furthermore, Indian students who form one of the largest groups of international students in the US and families on temporary visas will face challenges in securing citizenship for their US-born children. This change could discourage Indian professionals, students, and families from migrating to the US, potentially redirecting their focus to immigration-friendly countries like Canada and Australia. Lastly, the policy is also aimed at curbing birth tourism, a practice where women travel to the US specifically to give birth, so that their children can claim citizenship. This executive order represents a significant shift in US immigration policy, with far-reaching consequences for families, professionals, and students worldwide. In today's Place in News, we turn our focus to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or DRC, with its capital, Kinshasa. Recently, increasing hostilities in eastern part of DRC by non-state armed group M23 have caused mass displacement in the region. Let's take a closer look at the political and geographical features. DRC is the second largest country on the African continent following Algeria and holds a distinction of being the largest in sub-Saharan Africa, or SSA. It shares land boundaries with Angola, Burundi, the Central African Republic, the Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia. Additionally, it has a maritime boundary along the Atlantic Ocean. Geographically, the DRC is defined by the Congo River, the second longest river in Africa after the Nile. The country is characterized by its vast tropical forest, with the Congo Basin hosting the world's largest tropical peatlands. Economically, the DRC is endowed with abundant mineral resources, including cobalt, gold, copper, coal, iron ore, and lithium, making it a significant contributor to the global mining sector.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Hamara Samvidhan Hamara Swabhiman campaign was organized to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Indian Constitution and India's establishment as a republic under the Disha scheme. The Disha scheme was launched in 2021 by the Department of Justice, Ministry of Law and Justice for a period of 5 years, 2001 to 2026, with the aim of securing justice for the people of India, as enunciated in the preamble and under Articles 39A, 14 and 21 of the Indian Constitution. Recently, the RBI released the annual report for the Ombudsman scheme for the period of 2023-24. The annual report showed an increase of approximately 33% in complaints in FY24 compared to FY23. RBIOS was launched in 2021 as part of the Alternate Grievance Redress or AGR framework of the RBI. Its objective was to implement the One Nation, One Ombudsman principle. Recently, the Inland Waterways Authority of India, or IWAI, set up its 6th regional office in Varanasi. Earlier, IWAI had 5 regional offices located in Guwahati, Patna, Kochi, Bhubaneswar, and Kolkata. IWAI functions under the nodal ministry, the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. It is a statutory body established under the Inland Waterways Authority of India Act 1985. The International Solar Conference celebrates the 125th anniversary of the Kodaikanal Solar Observatory. Currently owned and operated by Indian Institute of Astrophysics, the observatory was established in 1899. Located in Kodaikanal, the Palani range of hills, Tamil Nadu, the site was chosen for its proximity to the equator and its dust-free, high-altitude location. The Minister of Cooperation recently addressed the inaugural function of the International Year of Cooperatives 2025. The UN General Assembly had declared 2025 as the International Year of Cooperatives, or IYC 2025, in 2024. The UN's first International Year of Cooperatives was celebrated in 2012. The theme for IYC 2025 is Cooperatives Build a Better World. A rare plant known as the copse flower bloomed in Sydney, Australia for the first time in more than a decade. The copse flower is famous for its infamous rotting smell when it is in bloom. It is found in the wild in Indonesia. The plant has the largest flowering structure of any plant in the world, rising up to 3 meters from the ground. The Defense Minister recently launched Sanjay, an advanced battlefield surveillance system, or BSS, to enhance the Indian Army's surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities. The Sanjay system is jointly developed by the Indian Army and Bharat Electronics Limited, or BEL, in line with Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. Recently, researchers from Switzerland have developed a gene editing technique to help cure Stargardt disease, a rare inherited genetic eye disease that leads to vision loss in children and young adults. It is caused by changes in the ABCA4 gene, which influences how the body uses vitamin A.
Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description.